It is Quest.
That's your adventure game podcast.
I'm Ben, PS_Garrick on Twitch and YouTube.
Yeah, and I'm Jess. That's Decaf Jedi on YouTube and Twitch.
How you doing, Jess?
Ben, I am
Fantastic.
fantastic. I am fantastic. We are rushing toward the Halloween season, and you know what that means?
Are you a Halloween guy?
I'm not a dress up guy. Like, I don't dress up very often. It's really rare. I mean, my last Halloween costume was Wreck-It Ralph a few years ago. And honestly, I just kind of look like Wreck-It Ralph already if
Mm-hmm.
I'm wearing a plaid shirt. So that's really
Yeah.
barely a costume. But
I
what
don't
it
remember
does
what
mean,
Wreck-It Ralph looked like. Like I saw the first one. I didn't see the second one.
like, just Google Wreck-It Ralph real quick and
All right,
imagine me with like
okay.
my hair spiked up and wearing some overalls and a plaid shirt. I mean,
Oh,
basically,
okay. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I'm kind of Wreck-It Ralph coded already.
Right, sure.
So yeah, I mean, which is funny because he's a video game character. You get it, Wreck-It Ralph coded. Yeah,
Oh.
it's pretty droll. But
How droll.
about 4 out of 10.
What?
That's about how droll it was.
Oh,
Mm,
eh,
eh,
yeah,
mm,
eh.
eh. But Halloween season means there's Halloween candy in the house. Ben, what
Oh.
is the best Halloween candy? And I'm asking both 10-year-old Ben and your current present day 26-year-old Ben.
Ah. Wow, you're just popping this on me.
I
We
know.
didn't discuss this before the
No.
pod.
In fact, Ben explicitly asked me not to ask him this question.
Listen, I
This
think
is off limits.
I'm on record and this is I think always true. Like I do like a sour, I guess
Mhm.
adult Ben is going to always be like sour fruit candy,
Yeah, yeah. Hmm.
which is why Easter, like, because I'll just eat a shitload of jelly beans.
Gotta eat
You
those
know,
jelly beans.
the when I was a kid, but like I liked those too, but um I was a big fan of Crunch and Crackle. Like the two,
Oh,
Crunch and
oh.
Crackle, not
Yeah,
two separate candy bars that are essentially the
yeah.
same.
Chocolate
I
is
really liked,
scrumptious when it crunches. That's why I love Nestle Crunch.
you know, here's here's a hot take. Are you ready for this?
Are you ready for this? Yeah.
Da 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 da. Anyway, um, my hot take is Reese's peanut butter cups. Okay.
I mean, you know my feelings. You can probably guess that like peanut butter and chocolate is not my jam. I'm not looking for that sweet and salty experience. No,
And
thank
see,
you. No,
I
thank you.
I I'm perfectly fine with that. My bigger problem with it is that I don't like the quality of like the peanut butter in
It's
it. Like that,
grainy.
yeah, that like
Yeah,
dry, flaky, it's like it's from like dehydrated like peanut butter powder.
yeah.
It's not very good. And it, like, my entire life, like, I wouldn't kick one out of bed, but it's
Hmm.
just like my entire life I've always been confused by, it's like people are like, oh, Reese's peanut butter cups, like, as if those are like the grand,
That's like considered the gold standard by a lot of people.
like, then number two would be like Snickers, and I enjoy a Snickers.
Hmm.
When I was a kid, I wasn't a fan of nuts, so I would, so Snickers were not my thing. Um, I would bias more towards like a Carmelo
Hmm.
or a Milky Way, like, which has more of the nougat.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But I mean, I like, like, I I don't know. Like, I think Crunch and Crackle were probably my number one as a kid because I loved that, like, crunch, like
Puffed
that that
rice
that
texture.
puffed
Yeah,
rice texture really
yeah.
did it for me
That
as
was
a
way up
kid.
there for me too. Like, I think
Yeah.
trick or treating. probably a decade before you were, like the sour candies weren't really
No.
in vogue yet. Like that
And they
wasn't
weren't
a
really when I was a kid either.
yeah.
They weren't really.
So I was kind of in like an era, like you'd still get things like circus peanuts occasionally.
Oh,
Oh,
those were still
oh,
very occasionally in rotation.
yeah. Now, and for listeners who don't know what a circus peanut is in this context, it's like an orange fluff candy that doesn't taste anything like peanuts. It's like, oh, it lives somewhere between like a marshmallow and a piece of styrofoam. I don't know. They're the worst candy ever. I had a lot of those, but Crackle was way up there. I liked Hershey's Miniature Special Dark. Their dark
Oh
chocolate
yeah,
ones.
I didn't like dark chocolate as a kid,
Mm-hmm.
but like again, that's like that was I'm impressed that you liked special dark as a kid.
I was very sophisticated. A lot of people were
Because
saying that.
like yeah, like dark chocolate, like
Mm-hmm.
milk chocolate all the way
Yeah. I mean,
for me.
if I could get Fun Dip, now that's like next level stuff.
Fun Dip was high up there.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Fun Dip
yeah.
was super high up there.
The little dipping stick for Fun Dip, I think maybe my favorite candy. Just it by itself, just like chewing on those like chalky little sticks is a pleasure in and of itself. I'm gonna go on a limb here though, Ben. This is my worst candy opinion. Are you ready for it? We've made it this many episodes before you're about to get my worst candy
All
opinion.
right, I'm ready.
I love banana runts.
That's crazy.
I know it is.
Oh, I love nerds. Like I love
Yeah. Oh,
nerds and I
nerds are
love
wonderful.
gobstoppers.
Nerds gob oh, gobstoppers are way up there for me. We got a lot of those when I was a kid. Gobstopper hard to beat. But I like
I
a
was
banana
nuts
runt.
for gobstoppers as a kid.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't
Um
know. I know lots of people will avoid banana runts at any cost, but I like runts in general, and a banana one, that's my favorite.
Banana candy in general like would go right into the trash.
Wow.
Uh like banana Laffy Taffy.
Ooh, yeah, no, that's not great. I will agree. Banana Laffy Taffy is not my favorite.
Did I ever tell you about the comedy bit I did for a talent show with Laffy Taffy?
I don't think so.
This is, you know what? This was a bit. I did this for a talent show when I was a freshman in college, and it killed in my dorm. Like the way that they had it was like the best person in the dorm, and then everybody like is dorm versus dorm talent show.
Mm.
Worked really well in the dorm. Did not play on the big screen.
It's just a different
Um,
culture.
yeah,
You
it
know,
was a small dorm. But anyway, my Laffy Taffy bit was I would walk up and say like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, everybody. I don't have anything. I don't have anything prepared for you. So like I ran out of time. So I'm just gonna read you these jokes on the back of the Laffy Taffy if that's okay." And then like so I'd go up because every Laffy Taffy, if you're familiar, has like, a corny,
yeah,
like when's a door not a door when it's a jar. Like it's all those
yeah.
jokes.
Bazooka Joe stuff. It's
Yeah.
Bazooka Joe
And so
core.
I would read one of those jokes and then I would slowly open up the little packet of Laffy Taffy and I'd stick the taffy in my mouth and then I would pull out another wrapper and I'd read the joke with the taffy in my mouth and it just went until like I would just like there's spit. You can't understand a single word I'm saying. This is I'm gonna tell you, this is probably one of my better bits.
I think this is a pretty good bit. Like
This
I'm
is a
hearing this.
pretty,
Yeah.
I deserved that. Like but
See, I would
I
have been
will
eating
tell
that
you
up.
I swallowed like at the end, like this massive like baseball of taffy at the end. Like I
And then
had
I was in the ER when I learned I hadn't won.
the other thing is like this is something I didn't practice because I was like, I'm not gonna eat that much taffy. And the like it got to the point way faster that I
Hmm.
couldn't say anything. Like it was like realistically, it was like three, and I thought I could go for like five or six. And I was just like, oh, Laffy Taffy is bigger and my mouth is smaller than I think. Like the whole like I'm kind of assuming that my mouth has TARDIS like powers, but
Yes.
the TARDIS like power comes from like swallowing candy. Like it's
Yes, it
not.
has to go somewhere. Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah,
Yeah.
you got some like law of conservation of mass going on there that's working against you. Yeah. No, I mean, I'm just imagining you like in the ER getting your stomach pumped, and the doctor trying to solemnly explain
Which,
to you,
by
it's
the
like,
way, did not happen, but
son,
let's say it did.
there's nothing laughy about this taffy. You need to take this more seriously. Your taffy habits are going to land you here again if you keep this up.
By the way, I do like a Laffy Taffy.
Yeah.
Yeah, a Laffy Taffy's pretty
What
good.
flavor are you going for since it's not banana?
I cherry or green apple.
Green apple. That's the correct answer. I'm all about that green
Oh,
apple.
you know what I also loved? I loved Charms Pops. Speaking of green apple, those
Ooh,
I loved. I loved Charms Pops, and I hated Tootsie Pops because I
Tootsie Pops are
didn't.
such a disappointment. Worst flavor. They're all semi-melted upon arrival, it feels like. Like they feel like they've all been melted and recongealed back into their form. I think it's just cheap isomalt candy, right?
Well,
Like,
and also I've never liked Tootsie Rolls, like
yeah.
never,
That's not a great
because
price. Now,
it's
blow pop. A blow pop.
yeah, that's like yeah.
Yeah.
Those are good with the bubble gum. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And that gum's garbage too.
Oh, it's
But
trash.
like at least that's fine. And then oh, what else? There was another one of the fruit. Oh, you know what I did like and I still like is when you would get the weird fruit flavored Tootsies. Those I
Oh,
love,
those are pretty good.
except for the vanilla ones.
Hmm.
Like they lump in like so you have the canonical Tootsie Roll, which
Yes.
is this little like bit of like chocolate flavored hard taffy.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
The worst chocolate on earth.
And then you have the fruit ones, which are essentially like bargain basement Starburst.
Yes, precisely. Yes.
And like yeah, as I said, I've always like even as a kid, I always like I love Starburst. Like if I could
Hmm.
get a Starburst, I would prefer that. Like Skittles.
Hmm.
And so it's like I enjoyed and I still enjoy they have a certain flavor that I like a little bit more, even though a Starburst is a superior
Yeah.
fruit chew product.
Are you on the high chew train here in the present day? Have you done high chews yet?
I don't think I've done a Haichu. I've done a Mamba.
Okay, yeah, yeah. That one's the high chews are quite good. The fruit flavors are very tasty. It has
I haven't
a
tried
little
a
bit more
Haichu.
chew to it than a Starburst. It's like a little bit more work, which
Oh,
I like.
and hey, Jess,
Yeah,
what's this candy you're talking about?
high chew.
Gesundheit.
That would have been so much funnier if you had 3 Laffy Taffies in your mouth.
Yeah, I would have.
Oh my god.
My friend Paul, who I went to high school with, he like when he was a high schooler with a car that would just like kind of drive around at night, you know, as high schoolers do. It's just
Mhm.
like, all right, what am I gonna do? I guess I'm gonna drive around. Where I grew up, like there were a ton of late night diners, so like, but he would go to the 7-Eleven and he would buy was is it Mamba or Mambos?
Ooh, that's a great question. Probably
Mom,
Mambo because Mamba would suggest you're eating like snake parts.
it's Mamba.
It is. Well, there you go.
But
Rest in peace, Kobe
he
Bryant.
he would go to the 7-Eleven like in our like town center, and he would always buy like the Mambas because those were like super cheap, and he was a high schooler, but he got to the point where like he'd roll in, it's like 11 o'clock. He rolls in, and they point at him and be like Mamba.
All right. That's how you know you're living your best life.
is yeah. Have you ever had that? Have you ever been like because I've had like bartenders, and I've had like
Mhm.
there's a diner that I go to where they know my order. Like I've got a couple places
Yeah.
like that, but I don't think I've ever had that at, like, a convenience store.
No, never at a store. I've definitely had restaurants, like our Thai restaurant here in town. We go
Yeah.
there regularly enough. They know exactly what I want. Do you ever, is this just like a sign that I'm broken inside? That when the server at a restaurant correctly guesses my order, my first instinct is to try to improvise a new order on the spot. What's wrong with me that's like, I don't want to give them that power over me? Why can't I just like be flattered that they know me and probably appreciate me? What's wrong? What's wrong, Ben? If you could just be my therapist for a moment, what's broken about me that makes me want to be like, well, actually, I don't want red curry tonight.
I mean,
Thank you.
it's not like it's gonna make it any harder for them. They're probably
No,
not,
no. It's
like
not. Yeah, it's not. It's purely just a recognition of we appreciate that you're a regular customer, and I'm like, I want to throw that back in your face.
yeah, no, I don't. Listen, but it's fun. Like at my diner that I'll go to, like for like a Saturday or Sunday brunch on occasion.
Mm-hmm.
Like she'll roll up and she'll be like, "Are you gonna have?" It's Swedish, so she'll be like, "Do you
Is
want
this
the
the one that
frig?"
I've been to?
Yes,
Okay,
I think
I've
you've
been.
met. You might have met the server.
Yes, I think I
Uh,
have. So yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
yeah,
I have
she's
a very
like,
good mental image.
yeah. Do you want the frig, which is what I normally
Mm-hmm.
order? And then like and like 9 times out of 10, it's like, yep, that's what I want.
Yeah.
But sometimes I like because there's a bit of a surprise. It's like, oh, you're not having your usual. Oh, pretty interesting. Like,
Mm.
and that's less a like a confrontation and more like a yeah, this old dog's got a couple tricks.
You do contain multitudes. I've always said that about you. I will say also, that's a fantastic breakfast joint. Thanks for
Oh
taking me
my
there, Ben.
god, that place is great. Oh, anyway. Uh well, Jess, what have you been playing?
Oh man, Ben. I have to tell you, I am going to take a page from your book and I am going to double up from last week because I have still been playing Hades. I am playing so much Hades. And let me tell you, you remember last time around, I was like, oh, I'd love to play Borderlands 4, but there's no way I'm paying for Borderlands 4.
Oh, you bought it on the sale when they dropped it down to 50.
Yeah, I actually got for like 47 somewhere else. So I got a cheap copy of Borderlands 4, downloaded all 100 gigs of it or whatever, looked at my Steam library and said, I think I'm going to play some more Hades. I haven't even loaded up.
It is such like, and this is also like the power of like a good roguelike is it's like, so like a successful run and you've beaten
I've
you've had
beaten
at least one win, right?
Yes, I've gotten literally one win. I think I got on my 22nd run, which I don't know if that's good. I saw one person on Reddit that said it took them 33 runs to beat the first boss. And I'm like, at first I was like, I must be the best Hades player ever, but I've slowly come to realize that guy on Reddit is the worst Hades player ever.
I probably was later than that. Like it took me a while. Like when you started to say like it's like I rolled through the third boss, I was like, damn, that third boss took me a while.
It was a blessed run the first time though. It was like one of those where just every boon fell into place beautifully, and I was like I could just zip around the screen, didn't even have to attack. There were just so many effects around me that stuff died.
Yep. Yep.
But no, it's wonderful. I get it. Now, I will say I'm hitting a little bit of the malaise of I'm bad at playing any game once I've defeated its final boss or defeated its, its storyline mode or whatever. I know this game has more bosses and more content and lots more storyline, but enough of me felt like after I beat what is nominally the final boss, there's a lot of me. It's like, all right, time to uninstall this and move on to the next thing. And
you haven't rolled credits though, yeah?
I haven't rolled credits yet, so I do know there's a more definitive the end than the one I've experienced.
Yeah, so it's like,
and even that's
there's
not
the end and then credits, and then there's an epilogue, the end, which is an even more, which I've gotten.
Yeah.
And it's great. It's a lot of fun.
I love it. It's a fantastic game. Ben, you did not steer me wrong. It is my favorite game I've played in recent memory.
Yeah.
Forget it. kid named Ice Boy. You're off my Game of the Year list now. Was that last year?
That was
last year. Oh, you're definitely off my list then.
Yeah.
Take that, Grayson. What have you been playing, Ben?
Well, I
Hades
could say the honest truth, which is to say that I've still been playing Hades 2. Which, and again, I don't want to like Hades 2 is really great because it is the big, huge sequel, and there's just so much of it. And that's part of the thrill of it is it's just like, Jesus Christ, this keeps going. Like, you know. So I've beaten one of the final bosses. I have had my one win of that. But Jess, it was the same as me for your Hades win, which was it's like I didn't think this would be the one where I would win. I wasn't even using a weapon that I liked using.
Yeah.
Like I picked a weapon where it was like, oh, we'll give you this little extra like currency to buy like goodies if you pick this one that we randomly selected. So I picked this one weapon that I didn't even really like playing with that much, but all the boons lined up.
Sometimes the gods smile on you.
Yeah, like it all just like kind of lined up, and like it just got to the point where it's like I made it to the final world, and I was just like, I think I'm kind of crushing it. Like, you know,
that's a good feeling in Hades. Like I think this is going well.
Yeah,
something's different here.
I was like, because like I picked so many things that I don't normally pick. Like it was
That's
just
what
it's
happens.
it's like, yeah, I'll use this, but this one is like, there's a thing that you get in Hades 2, you get these moon powers that are really cool. I picked a moon power I didn't like, and then like by the end I was like, I think this moon power is actually incredible.
Yeah.
But that's not what I'm going to talk about.
Forget it. Everybody ignore that.
But it is quite good. If you enjoyed Hades 1 and were like, is Hades 2 good?
I might pick it up. I might just roll straight into it.
Well, you should.
I should roll credits on Hades 1.
You should beat 1, and then I think give that a rest. Give that a rest.
Okay, because, don't go straight into it.
Because I think Hades. There's a couple things. One is that Hades 2, like, in order to be a sequel, you're not playing as what's his name?
Zag.
Yeah, you're not playing as Zag. And so Mel, who you're playing as. She has like kind of a different move set, and the strategy for playing as her is kind of different. And so if you like, I noticed a lot of people that went into Hades 2, and I think they were just playing Hades 1 to really rev themselves up for it. Like kind of went into it and then like kind of bounced, like soft bounced, because they're like, oh, it's not. It feels a little different, you know. But also it's like, I think it's a game that's kind of how I think it wants you to approach it is that like kind of with the mindset of like having played a ton of Hades 1. So I think you still have a lot more meat on the bone before you move to 2.
Ben, when you think I'm ready, you just give me the word.
I'll give you the word. But I'll say. So I played recently. There's a brand new pinball machine in town. You ever see Inside Llewyn Davis?
No.
Oh, it's a great movie. One of Grayson's favorites, and I'm quite fond of it myself. But anyway, there's a folk song because it's about like folk music. There's a folk song in it where Adam Driver, who has a very small cameo, like just a very small role in the movie, like he has like just a refrain. I think the song is like "Please, Mr. President." It's about like JFK or something like that. It's like "Please, Mr. President," and then Adam Driver's character is all he does is he goes "oh" in the song, but he has that. You know, Adam Driver.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah.
You got to see it. Inside
I love
Davis
Adam
is
Driver.
Incredible.
Love
movie.
Adam Driver.
Anyway, so there's a new pinball machine in town. There's a bunch of new pinball machines in town, but this is the one I played. So it's called Star Wars Fall of the Empire, which is just...
I've heard of that.
Is just, I believe, an excuse to make another original trilogy Star Wars machine, of which this would be the fourth? I almost said the third, but I think there's actually four. Four original trilogy Star Wars pinball machines. So
That
now
makes
there's
sense.
more Star Wars original trilogy pinball machines than there are original trilogy films. And like two of them are called Star Wars, and one of them is called Star Wars Trilogy, and so this one is Star Wars Fall of the Empire. There's also a Mandalorian pinball machine, and there is also a Episode 1 pinball machine.
That's probably the best one.
Would you be shocked to know that it's not? I mean, there were good Episode 1 games though. Like Pod Racer was an excellent game.
Is there like a ramp made out of like Jar Jar's tongue or anything fun like that in the episode one?
No.
That's what I would put in.
Yeah.
I'm a sicko. I'm
But
looking
anyway,
at this
so-
table and it looks beautiful.
Yeah, so Star Wars Fall of the Empire, it's interesting because it's like, I'm going to say this, I like how it looks. I love the look of it. It's fun to shoot, but the thing is if you're like a pinball sicko, such as I am, this, like the design of it and like the look of it and everything, it is, and the fact that it's like a Star Wars original trilogy game, and it's the fourth original trilogy game that there is, and that the last one came out in 2017, I think. It is like the most like normal pinball game that's ever been made. There is like looking at it, like, because it's like I've heard a lot of like pinball dorks get mad. It's like, oh, it has this very standard type of design. It has a very pinball fans will know it has a fan design, which is to say that all the shots are lined up across the top in a fan type formation. It's just
I'm seeing that, and I see exactly what you mean.
And it's like, but you know what? Like, they've done a couple weird designs recently, so it's like I feel that they were just kind of like hitting the reset button. This is like I played it for an hour or so this weekend at my favorite arcade, and I was like, you know what? This was perfectly fun. Like, this is just a pinball game.
It looks like just a bit. Like I'm looking at a nice top-down shot of the play field, and I mean, yeah, it's a couple of ramps. Looks like how a pinball game looks. It doesn't look like it's doing anything super fancy. Does it play solid though? Is it a good version of straightforward?
Yeah.
I see as I'm looking at this on Stern's website that there are like 3 editions of it with different
There's
art.
always 3 editions.
Is that the standard move nowadays?
That's the standard. Is that there's a Pro, a Premium, and an LE, and the Pro is like kind of the base model. The Premium, they'll add like a couple extra bells and whistles and stuff. Like, they are like, generally a Pro and a Premium have like mild to sometimes fairly dramatic, but not huge, like gameplay differences. There's usually at least 1 or 2 things that you can interact with on the play field that aren't on the Pro.
Gotcha.
And then the LE is just a Premium, but like they, made it look prettier, and you like, and I think it costs a couple thousand more. I forget how many thousand more, but like, and it has like, like a couple $100 more stuff in it.
Wow,
you're buying the markup
for
for
quite a bit.
Oh yeah, this is all ungodly expensive. But yeah, I played it, and my review is like, yeah, it's that's a perfectly fine pinball game. I had a good time. Like, I will when I go back to the arcade this weekend at some point, probably play it again for a while. The thing about pinball now is that it's actually difficult to accurately judge what your opinion of a pinball machine is going to be when it comes out, because pinball machines, like every other video game, do not release with full code.
Ah.
And so right now, like I think the code, I don't know what number it is, but it's like at 0.8 something. Like it generally, like it
You're
usually
playing the beta
releases,
version of this game. It's early access. You're early accessing this pinball table.
like yeah, you're getting, and usually like the 1.0 code like doesn't come out until like a year after or something like that. Like it takes a while. So it's like, and the thing is that if you're like a hard pinball player, you're like learning the rules and what the strategy is, and like that can drastically change between like code revisions. And so like right now, like I'm like, yeah, it was kind of fun to shoot around. It looked nice, like, but you know, I have no idea. Like it's hard for me to really like. You can better judge based off of who they have working on the code for a game of, this will probably be good. And this has a good guy.
Well, let me ask you a question, and maybe this is a dumb question. As a mechanical device, do pinball machines need to be broken in a little bit? Like if you get to the arcade and they've just taken it out of the giant envelope that it was mailed to them in, and they've set it up there, like, is that thing fresh out on the floor going to play significantly different than it will 6 months or 6 years
it's
down the road?
It's going to totally play. Like,
is pristine out of the factory the way you want it to play, or do you want that settled in version?
Usually want it a little settled in. Because
Okay.
usually out of the factory, it's going to play unbelievably like fast, which is fun in its own way. Like it is a lot of fun to play like a minty, like brand new pinball machine. Like that is really fun. And it's also, it's like with maintenance, it's going to remain like in a decent repair like that. But usually like, it's also when a pinball game is like first being set up, like they might figure out like, oh, actually, like I need to have the pitch at a slightly different, like I need to have it a little lower, a little higher, or it's like, oh, I have to, like this little thing I need to like adjust, like this little metal thing needs to be bent a little bit. Sometimes like the coils that make a flipper work, like those like kind of, and I, you know, somebody that knows, I don't know all the innards and all of that, like the electronics and the mechanical bits of what makes a pinball machine work.
You're no Bill Budge, is what you're saying.
I'm not Bill Budge. I don't have the pinball construction set. But like, I mean, just from what I know is it's like, you know, like, yeah, like it usually settles in after a little bit, and then like you just kind of want to have it at like this kind of appropriate level.
See, this is the problem, like for me, is like the most casual pinball player on earth is most of the pinball machines I encounter are far too worn in, and it stays like, I found one in the back of like a random restaurant or something, and it's like the kind where you like slam your hand against the button on the side as hard as you can,
the flipper just
and like half a
stays up.
second later the flipper just sort of like limply like like moves, like there's a good delay and it doesn't fully move, and it's just like, all right, let's play some pinball, baby. This is what it's all about.
That was, I mean, honestly, that's what it was like in Chicago for years, which is crazy because like this is where they make them, or the suburbs anyway. And like it is to have a pinball machine like out on location, and for that not to happen, it does need regular maintenance, especially if it's in a public location. Like the one sitting in like a basement for a while needs less, but it still needs maintenance.
Yeah,
because it's literally wood. Like it's wood and like
springs
plastic.
And
and like the game is that you use like a big strong chunk of plastic wrapped in rubber to like fire with an electrical coil a large metal ball bearing at like plastic at high speed at like speeds of like 70 miles per hour or whatever. And it's like that shit breaks all the time. Like every component of a pinball machine breaks all the time.
Yeah. I'm constantly too, like when I'm around pinball machines, I'm like popping my girl up onto the glass to make out with her and stuff.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
You know, that's rough on them. You know,
Right.
It's yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, these things suffer a lot in public, is what I'm saying.
I mean, all right, Jess, you're saying that, like, but that is funny. It's really like, it's funny because it's like there was this period where like pinball and like arcade stuff in general, but especially pinball, like pinball was associated with like the mob, and like arcades were associated with like this really seedy element. And you'll see like photos, like you were sharing photos on Blue Sky the other day, like. Was it Debbie Harry? Like,
yeah, it was
like you'll see like punk people, like, you know, punks in the 70s and 80s, like smoking and like leaning up against a pinball machine, and they look so fucking cool.
Yeah.
And like, I remember like watching this documentary or something, and it was like, yeah, you know, like we were so fucking cool. We were like outlaws playing pinball. And then like anyone that approaches pinball like that, like today, like that is just like, yeah, like I'm pretty badass. I'm into pinball. It's like, no, this shit's just for dorks now, my friend. Like this is for people that, like, you know, if you tap them on the shoulder, they're going to collapse. Like this is not, like there is nothing like rough or like cool about being into pinball now. It's just for nerds. And like, and I say that as a big fucking nerd. Like, if you're deluding yourself into thinking that, like, you're a cool outlaw, like, it's like, I'm sorry, my man. Like, either you were alive then, you were, like, because they're, you know, they're, especially here in Chicago, because, like, there's a massive, like, scene around pinball. Like, there's a lot of people who, like, you know, were playing at the arcades here in the 80s and have, like, memories, and so, like, of all that. But, like, yeah, if you're, you know, my age, in my late 30s, like, I'm not going to pretend that I'm a badass for playing pinball. Like, it was, like, you know, it was a thing I played when I was, like, 8 years old at arcades when those existed. And then, like, it went away for a while, and then I got into it again into, like, in my, like, 20s, late 20s. And, like, all the people I hang out with and play it with, like, we're all nerds, we're all dorks. If you pretend it's not a nerd dork thing, you're deluded.
Yeah, if you want to be a cool gamer, you want to play Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that's punk rock.
Yeah, that's punk rock, my man. All right, well,
we're out of time. I was curious, when you were playing this Fall of the Empire game, did you take the time to reflect on the legacy of Lucasfilms at all? I'm just curious. You know, just.
I don't know what you're talking about. All I know is that it's Scary Game Month. What's the
scariest game you could think of? Yeah.
Yeah. We weren't planning on talking about a different game this week, and then like things didn't line up with
our special guest. Yeah, I'm sorry, Roberta Williams canceled on us last minute, so you didn't get that this week. Yeah.
Well, she was in the other room popping popcorn, and
Ken canceled for her.
But yes, I mean, do you hear this? We are of course going to talk about
family genius, glimmer of a dream to brave the sail uncharted seas, taking chances we never know, the highs and lows will take a lot, and right before our eyes will find happiness and peace of mind.
Ben, do you have a background at all in singing? Like, have you done choir at any point?
Oh
Or
yeah. Yeah,
so
yeah,
at
yeah.
some point you've probably had like some choir director or music teacher, or somebody like really work with you on like hitting your consonants and how to clip, what sounds you hold out vowels and which ones you don't consonants, and really enunciating. So the way she hits Maniac Mansion is just like, it feels like that sort
I
of, I've been
okay.
choir directed into this hardcore.
Uh I have to, like, yes, it is very difficult to make out the words of that song.
You can't sing the word
But
mansion in a pretty way.
I'm going to say I don't think it's the singer's fault, because it is barely a song.
It feels
Like,
like during the verse that maybe she didn't have the benefit of the backing track like in her headphones. It's almost like she's on a different
yeah.
tempo and rhythm than the actual song. I mean, folks,
But
if you don't know
the
what you
the
just heard,
tune is like doot 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 doot. Like, there's not a lot for her to kind of hold on to in singing it.
right?
Like, so there's a lot of space. Like, she has to, like, kind of like find something in there, and the lyrics are very dull, and it's a very like slow, and like it's just a bad song, and it
For a
is
wacky
just,
ass sitcom.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so, Jess, what is this that I just played? Because the listeners
Yeah.
might have actually stopped the podcast because they were like, what
Yeah.
the fuck is this awful song?
That, of course, was the famous theme song from Cheers. That was the theme song to the Maniac Mansion sitcom that came out inexplicably in the 1990s. Ben,
Right.
do you ever stop to think
Yeah.
about like television series that you love today? Like series that you just think are really, take, like, I know we're both fans of Star Trek Lower Decks.
Sure.
And prior to its cancellation, how many episodes did we have a chance to enjoy? Because
There's like 52, I believe.
yeah, there's 66 episodes of Maniac Mansion,
Yeah.
3 seasons, a well-reviewed series in a lot of outlets.
I've watched a little bit of it. It's not bad.
It's not awful. I
It's
mean,
it's on somebody. It kind of, it's one of those TV shows that kind of pops up and then vanishes on YouTube. Like,
yeah,
and I can't
someone's
imagine that.
controlling those rights. George Lucas himself is like, I own that, so
Yeah,
back
like
off. Yeah,
it's one of those things that, like, the rights, but at this moment it's currently on YouTube. You can watch it. It is all right.
if you love
So
Maniac Mansion,
we'll get to
throw
the
that all
game.
out the window because it's not there for the sitcom.
We'll get to the game, but yeah, I am very fascinated by Maniac Mansion, the TV show, which, if you're listening, you might not know that this existed. That there was
Yes.
a TV show based off of the first Lucasfilm game, Scum engine game. But there was, and and it has very little to do with the game.
No.
And but it's fascinating because it has, like, a pretty killer, like, there is a fair amount of, like, talent.
Yeah, there's a lot of SCTV talent that
Yeah.
drifts over into this. It's created by Eugene Levy, right?
It was, yeah. So Eugene Levy,
Ooh, Levy.
who is one of the creators, who like, most recently people would know him from Schitt's Creek. He was in all the Christopher Guest, like Waiting for Guffman. He was in all the, he's a character actor that just pretty much never stops working.
And
Also,
all the American Pie
yeah,
movies.
he's got like a David Warner type, like, I'll take
Yeah.
any job.
Yeah.
Like, but he's always good.
Yes.
But all right. So, like, one of the creators is Eugene Levy. I do wonder here, because you have then the next person created by here is Michael Short, and so I wonder if he's like related to Martin Short because they're all like because it's
Yeah.
like SCTV people, which SCTV is also one of those shows that like was really influential at the time and now doesn't exist
Right.
because like whoever owns the rights to it like just it doesn't release it or whatever. Like I think one season came out on DVD a long time ago and it wasn't like a good season of it. And then,
Mm-hmm.
but like if you ever like, if you ever find it, like, maybe it's on like archive.org like or something. If you ever have the opportunity to watch SCTV and there's a lot of good sketches just like clips on
And
YouTube.
amazing talent. Like,
Fun.
yeah, I mean,
It's also like a murderer's row because you have Eugene
yeah.
Levy. Like this is just SCTV. This isn't Maniac Mansion, but you have Eugene Levy, you have John Candy, you have Martin Short, Joe Flaherty, you have Catherine O'Hara.
Mm-hmm.
Who the fuck else? Now this is like
Ben, speaking of John Candy,
yeah.
one of my favorite roles he ever did. Have you ever seen the Chevy Chase film Nothing But Trouble?
No, I haven't.
You should check it out. He plays a dual role there. It's really really a great performance.
Dave Thomas, Andrea Martin, Rick Moranis. That's who I was trying to
Rick Moranis,
pull
that's the
for.
big one. Yeah.
Yeah, like those are there were some other, but like I just named off all of the like and I gotta say, like some of the sketches in it are still really, really funny. So I mean just watch any Count Floyd.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Joe Flaherty is the star of it.
He's Dr. Fred.
Dr. Fred Edison. And then
He's
a
not
bunch of
an
other people
evil-
who I have no idea who they are.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's odd. I mean, like the only thing it has in common with the game, which we are going to talk about. This is a podcast about the game. We can't stress strongly enough. This is not a podcast about the sitcom, but back to the sitcom. It has Dr. Ed, who's like a bumbling inventor. Dr. Fred, who's a bumbling inventor. There is a meteorite in the basement that he experiments on and with. It's not controlling him in any way, but everything else is just like a wacky.
I don't even know
sitcom.
if the meteor is really part of it after the first season.
No, it's almost like set dressing as much as it is anything. It's just like part of his wacky science lab at some level. But yeah, I mean, there's no Nurse Edna. There's no Weird Ed. There's certainly no tentacles. It is.
It's just like one of the characters is like a human fly, like this little human fly. Like that's it's more just like a like this is like an offbeat sitcom targeted at children about like a kooky family.
Yeah. Now, Ben, I know you love when stuff is described as Lynchian. I saw one review that described this show as David Lynch on helium. Would you agree with that description?
Yes, that's exactly what it's like.
But no, I mean, it's a wild thing that it existed.
It's not bad. Like
no,
I like as the couple episodes of it I've watched. Like the first episode of it, a pretty good gag. The name of the first episode is the 10th anniversary special, and it's them all acting like it's the 10th anniversary of the popular television show Maniac Mansion, and they're like, "Oh, didn't see you there." Like, that's clever.
At a time when meta wasn't that common. I mean, it very much feels like your syndicated sitcoms of the era. Like, it's not that far removed from like an 80s like Small Wonder kind of sitcom at some level. But
once upon a time, they would make television for like $5, and a season would be 500 episodes. And like, it's like you said, like this ran for 3 years and produced 66 episodes.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, it's now there would be like 8 episodes a season and a 4-year break between seasons.
Yeah.
What's that? What's that all about? What's wrong with Holly Weird?
I don't know.
Like,
I mean, anyway.
Maniac Mansion.
So no. We're talking about this. much better.
Maniac Mansion.
Family genius.
Now, all right. But also, why for a high energy comedy show would you start with the theme song that sounds like a funeral dirge?
Yeah, I mean, when
Like,
this was made,
like,
why not have like you should have like a radical teen rapping about this family. Like you should be like, well, they're the Edison family and they're here to say kind of thing, you know?
like this kind of sets the tone a bit. Like
Yeah.
this, a
Like,
variation.
imagine I'm like a slap bass right now.
Yeah. This is the Commodore 64 version of it.
It sounds fantastic.
Yeah, I think this might be my favorite one.
I really love the, oh man, that
Yeah, see
cymbal
that?
crash.
Those weird sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta play this whole thing.
Maniac Mansion. Maniac Mansion.
Maniac
Mansion.
Mansion. Maniac. Mansion.
Mansion. Ooh. Doesn't that plinking? Ooh, that is killer. How have I never heard the C64 version?
Yeah.
How does the PC version sound? Now I can't remember it.
It's this same tune, but it without
Yeah.
all the C64 sound chip.
Yeah.
You know,
Ooh.
like the Commodore 64. Did you have one? I didn't have a Commodore.
No,
64.
I didn't either.
It's something I wish I had as a kid, because like I look at stuff like I've played some Commodore 64 games, and I've watched some video and stuff like that of Commodore 64 games, and like I kind of have the feeling of like it's too late for me to go back to that. Like they don't appeal to me.
Mhm.
Like going back and playing them. I don't have a lot of fun playing a ton. There's some, but the sounds that a Commodore 64 could make.
Yeah.
And like the
Yeah.
look of some of the games, especially like the shit that like, you know, like UK games were doing with like the C64 sound chip, or like whatever they had in there. Like it just sounds incredible. But yeah, like the version that I grew up with, and I'm sure the version of Maniac Mansion that you grew up with, like it was the PC speaker, and it was similar to that, but it didn't have like that.
You know,
Like,
it's funny. I like my version of Maniac Mansion I played as a kid was actually the NES version. I didn't
right.
play the PC version until years and years later. This was one that I rented from the local video store several times and never managed to beat. I'm still terrible at Maniac Mansion. I cannot wrap my brain around this game, which is sad because there are enough endings that you should be able to like, you know, bungle your way toward one with the least amount of skill. But not me. I would rent this thing and just beat my head against it. But the NES version to me is still like what I think of when I think of Maniac Mansion. And it's a good looking version. The sound there is great. It has a constant soundtrack, which I don't think any
Unless
of the
you
other
turn
versions
off
do.
each kid's CD player.
Yeah.
Yes. That's so I don't have as much like I've never played the NES version. Like I'm familiar with it, but I've never
Mhm.
played it. Like preparing for today, I watched some video of it, and it is funny to think of. It's like, you know, because the version of Maniac Mansion I played was the EGA enhanced version, which is to say there was like the original PC version, and then they put out like a slightly higher like resolution
Mhm.
version for the PC. That was the one that came with. I've talked about it before. My box set of classic LucasArts games that
Yeah.
had Maniac Mansion, Zach McCracken, Last Crusade, Loom, and Secret of Monkey Island. Yeah,
That's
and
a killer lineup.
uh, uh,
And Zach McCracken.
and Last Crusade. That's not a
No,
very good game
Last
either.
Crusade is a perfectly cromulent game. Zach McCracken is trash.
I don't particularly care for Last Crusade.
Yeah, and you like Zach.
And here's the
you
thing:
deep down Zach.
I liked Zach as a kid.
Yeah.
I like as an adult, I know that I would never have the patience for Zach McCracken now, but when I was a kid, like we'll get back to Maniac Mansion. When I was a kid, like the light offbeat humor of Zach McCracken and the massive empty maze filled world was a lot more interesting to me as a child.
Yes, I can get that. Yeah.
Like
No, absolutely.
and so this is me tying it back to what we're talking about. And what I think is really fascinating about Maniac Mansion, because I don't think there are a lot of adventure games like Maniac Mansion. I think it's a fairly singular game. And I think the thing about like Zach McCracken is that it really feels like a game that has like kind of like all right, we're gonna blow the doors off of everything we did with Maniac Mansion. Where like Maniac Mansion is set in this one mansion that has some
Yes. Full of
maniacs,
maniacs. Well, not full.
just a few.
It's mostly kids and some maniacs.
Um and like it has this kind of tight kind of clockwork like kind of puzzle design that also has like a timer on it, like certain events happen at certain times. um Zach McCracken is like enormous,
It's an open world
and
adventure game.
it like it and that was way more appealing to me as a kid.
Yeah.
Whereas like Maniac Mansion, which like yes, is this really a Halloween game? It's intentionally Maniac Mansion was like kind of a like a goof on 80s like
Yeah, like
teen horror.
schlocky B movie horror stuff and bad sci-fi. Yeah, I think from like the 50s on through the 80s. You know, I think all those are influences here
What's
as
the
old
plot?
Ronnie Gilbert and Gary Winnick sit down to design this one.
Yeah, what's the plot of Maniac Mansion?
Well, Sandy, who is a beautiful cheerleader. I recently learned her last name is Pants, Sandy Pants with a Z. Sandy
Okay.
Pants. I'm pretty sure that's correct. That's what I'm reading on the internet. She has been kidnapped and taken to a mansion with some maniacs in it. And you are her boyfriend, Dave, noted tuna head, I would say, who is setting off with some of his friends, a group of teens, to rescue her. And you have the freedom to choose amongst these various teens to create your group of kids who will go into the mansion, all of whom have special abilities in search of Sandy before she gets her pretty little brain sucked out.
Yeah.
And there are tentacles, and there's an S&M nurse.
Is
And
she S&M and oh yeah, no, she is on the phone. Like she's a
yeah,
little like weird and flirty. That's
obscene
actually
calls and lots of like tie you up in my dungeon sort of
Yeah.
innuendo. That's all gone from the NES version. The NES version, of course, heavily censored. They can't have that sort of sexual content. But yeah, it's you know, just a classic sort of kids go into a mansion full of maniacs story.
And so what's really unique about Maniac Mansion is that like as Jess said, so it's like you have three characters that you're controlling at all times. And one of them is constant through all games. You always have Dave.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have a selection of what, like 5 other kids?
Yes, you have Dave, you have Sid, who is an aspiring new wave rocker.
Uh-huh.
You have Michael, an award-winning photographer.
Okay.
Wendy, a aspiring novelist, Bernard, a nerd,
Hmm.
and Razor, the lead singer for the punk band Razor and the
Oh, wait, a
Scumettes.
new wave person and a punk person? Like,
Yeah,
isn't that kind of, like, do we need both?
gotta have Ben. I could not tell you how distinct new wave and punk really are. Now, I mean, yeah, no way. I mean, yeah, that's like saying, isn't a photographer and a writer the same thing? They're both like, trying to
A
represent reality.
photographer and a writer. What is this? Phantasmagoria? Now,
Oh, I don't want to talk about that.
yeah. I
That's
don't
too
think we'll
scary.
ever talk about Phantasmagoria.
Not if I have anything to say about it.
Yeah.
It would really take someone special coming on our podcast like Roberta Williams for me to want to talk about Phantasmagoria.
Anyway, so Dave is always in the cast, and then the other five kids, they all have like a couple things that make them unique. There's a little bit of overlap. There's a
Mhm.
little, like, some will like, like Bernard knows how to open up and repair a radio. Like Sid or like Razor will put a hamster in a microwave. Like, there's like, all of them have like little things that they'll do and they won't do, which is why I find this such a fascinating design. Which is, it's like, I'm just trying to think about, and I'm sure like, I wouldn't be surprised if, like, Ron Gilbert, like, somewhere on like his Grumpy Gamer blog or like in an interview somewhere, like, talked about like kind of how he mapped this out, or like
Mhm.
how him and Gary Winnick mapped it out.
I
But
was
it
actually
is,
reading a little bit about this today on the Digital
yeah,
Antiquarian, and interestingly, it started like their original test runs of it before they'd even locked into necessarily this being like an adventure game fully. They like prototyped it as a board game with almost like a Clue style board that they were sort of moving the characters around and then breaking down what puzzles would be in what room, which is kind of fascinating.
I wonder if anyone else has ever done that for an adventure game design. That's interesting.
It is. I mean, and it makes a lot of sense. I don't know.
It makes a
My
lot of
brain
sense
doesn't
in
work like that.
how the game works too,
Yeah.
because, like, so
Movement and location is so important to it.
yeah, it's a game where, exactly, like, movement and location are supremely important. And so it's like, so you have three Edisons. You have Fred Edison, Dr. Fred. He's generally in the basement.
Hmm.
Like, so he's
He hasn't
generally,
slept in years.
yeah. But then you have Weird Edna. Wait, is it just
Nurse
Nurse
Edna.
Edna and then Weird Ed? Yeah. Um,
She's weird too, though, so I get the
yeah.
confusion.
And they'll move around, and they generally just have their rooms that they stay in.
Hmm.
But events occur over the course of the game that will move them into separate rooms. And if you are on their path between those destinations, like, you'll get caught by them and thrown into the jail.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. Like, I I forgot about the board game of it, but it really makes sense because, like, as you were saying, like, position, like, where you are relative to other characters
Yeah.
is very important in the game.
And Ben, this is going to be narrow casting, but you and I, through a strange set of circumstances, have both had the opportunity to play the House of a Thousand Corpses
Mm.
tabletop game,
Yes.
which honestly feels like it has so much in common with that version of Maniac Mansion of kids roaming through a house with a weird family that's also moving in an attempt to remove them from said house.
That's a
Um,
good board game. I
it
want to
is a
play that
good
board
board
game
game.
again.
We had a lot of fun playing that board game,
Yeah. It was
but
made by our friend Nick. You can purchase it now.
yes,
Yeah, House of a Thousand Corpses. That was a very good board. Like, that was yeah, we had a lot of fun doing that.
yeah, and
Yeah, like, those actually kind of connect together, and we'll have to ask Nick if he thought about that. That's
yeah,
interesting.
no, but I do like that. I mean, it makes sense when again you just think about how much about this game is like getting kids into the proper position so they can hand off items, so they can be in the right place to solve a puzzle, to get where they need to be when one of the Edisons is moving around and out of their normal spot. No, it's fascinating. I think you do really see that in the final product, and as I understand, like any combination of kids can win this game. There's no dead end team comp or anything like that. It is a fascinating piece of design. I can also see why not many other games have tried it. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
because it
also
seems
very
hard.
non-linear. I mean, Day of the Tentacle takes it down to 3 characters, but Day of the Tentacle is much more linear than Maniac Mansion. I mean,
Like, yeah, there's not like because there was the cave, like,
mhm.
but even that, I think like the multiple characters all kind of got their own. Like, I didn't play the cave, so
Yeah,
correct me if
they
I'm
all kind of
wrong.
got their own
Everybody got
level.
their own area. Is
Yeah,
like
that's right.
and
Yeah.
like and what makes Maniac Mansion so fascinating is that no, it's the same mansion full of maniacs on the same clock, and you could attack it with a different set of characters,
Mhm.
like in a
What if
different
this was a
combination.
roguelike, though? What if this was a roguelike?
Honestly, a Maniac Mansion roguelike is a
Yes.
great idea.
I'm not joking, Ben. I just thought of this because again, I'm Hades pilled right now. But how good would that be? Like you're just sending combinations of kids into this mansion, seeing how deep you can get into it every time
Yeah,
before you get thrown back to the start.
yeah, that's a
Oh
good
man,
game.
yeah.
Yeah,
Public, hey,
just
LucasArts,
straightforwardly.
yeah, George Lucas, if you're listening, you know, I wouldn't mind showing Ron Gilbert I could make a better game than him.
Yeah, that's right.
Just reach out.
Show him.
Yeah, I'm gonna put old Ronnie
Uh,
Gilbert on shout out.
but yeah, like I mean, because for a minute after this, like the Lucas until until Secret of Monkey Island, uh, all of the Lucas adventures had like a moment where you controlled another character, right? Because don't you control Rusty for like a second in Loom? Or am I misremembering? Maybe it's Loom that it ends with.
I
I
think you might though, don't you?
think you
Or do you
might have
just
like a second. Or no, wait, you disguise yourself as
you
Rusty.
disguise himself? Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So okay, so it's like Maniac Mansion, multiple characters, and Zach McCracken, multiple characters and more multiple characters, but it's a fixed, like you're not
Yeah.
selecting. Like, and that's one of the other things where like Zach McCracken is like we're doing more. And Zach McCracken, it's you've Zach, Annie, and then the two up on Mars.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 4. And then
Each
in
one less interesting than the
yeah.
last.
And then in Last Crusade, there's like gestures towards like that. Like there are like little tiny bits where you play as Henry Jones. Um, but in general,
Yeah,
uh
you're indie mode most of that game.
you're indie. Um and then like they don't really revisit that until Day of the Tentacle, which is Maniac Mansion sequel. And even then, it's a fixed number. And then like for Thimbleweed Park, you have 5 characters. So take
That
that,
means it's
Zach. We added
means it's
one
so
more.
much better. Yeah.
One more character equals one more better.
Yeah, 25% better.
Yeah. Um, and it's also so they're playing around with parser stuff in Labyrinth, the game that they made,
Mm-hmm.
like based on the film before Maniac Mansion. But Maniac Mansion like debuts the Scum interface, the point and click Scum interface, which everybody listening knows, but I'm going to explain anyway for the one person that doesn't, which is that you have uh all of like so the top half of the screen is where your characters are and the world is, and like it's a third person perspective and you see everything. It's in beautiful color. And and then on the bottom of the screen, uh it's all mouse controlled. on the bottom of the screen, you have a long list of verbs and also a list of inventory items. And to gesture towards what it's replacing, when you click on a verb, like the verb will like you'll see, so it says turn on, and then when you mouse over the light, like it'll say turn on light, and then you click it, and then it does, that sentence as if you typed it into the parser. And so like, that was always something that was interesting to me, like revisiting Maniac Mansion, is how it like is kind of instructing you. It's like you're familiar up to this point with most likely with Sierra text parser or like Infocom or other games with text parsers, and we have this thing here where it's this no typing interface, but you're still constructing sentences. So
Right.
it's not removed. And as like the Scum engine, and as it like went further and further, you have less and less of that, and like less of that as part of like the DNA of it. But like, if you look at Maniac Mansion, it's like it really feels more like an evolution of a text parser than
It
like a supplanting it.
it does. Like, I mean, it's not the first to do this. Like ICOM simulations with some of their adventure games like Deja Vu and like Shadowgate had elements of this sort of point and click, but there, like the screen is full of verbs and the game window and graphics are oftentimes much smaller. The way that this is implemented in Scum and Maniac Mansion is much more cinematic. It's much more elegant. It's just simply a more, in my opinion, more pleasing way to get at this, and solves, of course, Ron Gilbert was very outspoken about what he saw as the flaws of Sierra games and his frustrations with the text parser there. It manages to get around them. He always gives the example of, you see a bush and you want to, look in bush, and it doesn't recognize the word bush. It doesn't recognize the word plant. And finally, you realize it wants you to say shrub. And by that point, you're sick of the game and over it already. It gets around that problem in a really elegant way without cluttering the screen. And they would get less and less cluttered. They would eventually strip away more and more of these verbs to get it to a more streamlined number, and then bring in verb coins and other things that get the verbs off the screen completely.
Like, yeah, the number of verbs that Maniac Mansion has, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. You have 15 verbs.
Wow, I would guess 9. That's amazing.
And like, and the thing is that like you look at it and you're like, it makes sense that we don't need all of them.
Look, examine, observe, scrutinize.
Yeah, all of those are there.
It has extreme close up, which is borrowed from Wayne's World.
It is funny, like, there's just stuff that like, they get rid of. It's like unlock isn't needed. You just use the key in a lock.
Yeah.
Like it's like give.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of stuff that could
Use is a beautiful verb.
Yeah.
In the world of adventure game design.
Like fix. And also it's like turn on and turn off are two separate verbs. Like you just have one. Like or keep it at use. Like but the thing is that actually makes sense if you are thinking about this as it's not that they were trying to pare down too many verbs. It was that this is coming out of a text parser.
Yeah.
And it's like a response to a text parser. So
we've already taken away countless verbs from you by moving away from a text parser. The last thing we're thinking about is how we can take away even more.
Right. Exactly. And like it is like it also an annoying thing. It makes regular use of the what is. One of the verbs is what is, and what that is it
That's not even a
just
verb, first of all.
yeah. It is when it just activates it so that whatever your mouse goes over, it tells you what it is instead of like eventually it's just whatever your mouse goes over, it tells you. Like,
Yeah,
you don't need to have a specific button for that. Um but that's all stuff that they were figuring out. And
yeah,
also like the like again, they like this is all new.
yeah.
um
I mean, they're
it-
breaking new ground here, and I mean, and it all contributes to something uh, that does manage, I think, to be immersive in a different kind of way. There's something immersive about a parser interface that feels like you could say anything to it, but we're moving closer to steps of like an interface that you don't have to notice as much, which is immersive in its own way. And then, yeah, I mean, this game also is notable. It's not the first game to have cutscenes. Games like Prince of Persia and even like Miss Pac-Man had cutscenes before this, but it does coin the term cutscene. This was Ron Gilbert's sort of personal word to describe this. That's how he coded it into Scum. And the cutscenes go a long way again toward telling a much more cinematic story than what you might get, say, in like King's Quest One.
there's a lot more character.
Absolutely.
Like there's just a lot more like kind of character stuff.
Do
Like
you have a go-to group of kids, by the way? Like, is there anybody? I mean, Dave. Dave's a big winner.
I usually I'm gonna bring Bernard in there.
Mm-hmm.
Um
Because
because
he's canonical to me. I
yeah,
can't not.
because
Yeah.
he's canonical. And so then like all right, so then you have Bernard and he all right, so he has like kind of fix it ability. So then I'll go for like Sid or Razor uh
Yeah.
like for their skills. I think when I streamed it a couple years ago, I forget what party I went with. I don't
I'm
think we went
definitely
with Bernard,
Bernard
but
because
you have
again,
to have Bernard because
you have
he's
to have Bernard,
canonical.
or else Day of the Tentacle
Yeah,
doesn't
it
make
doesn't
sense.
happen. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's erased from history. And I'm always definitely I'm a Dave, Bernard, and Razor, mostly because I think if I wanted to date someone in Maniac Mansion, it would have been probably as a kid Razor.
Hmm.
She would have never given me the time of day. She's a cool punk rocker with like a spiked collar. But yeah, Razor, Bernard, Dave, tuna heads all around.
Um,
Originally that line was "Don't be a shithead."
is that true?
Yeah, but they decided it's like maybe we shouldn't throw in cursing, which there was cursing scattered throughout the game when other words could probably get the job done. Like the argument that they made internally was, is this really necessary for the tone we want to set for this game? So instead of saying "Don't be a shithead" when you before you go in the mansion, it's changed to Tuna Head. Can you imagine if that was like what a different tone Maniac Mansion would strike right out of the gate if one of the kids called the other one a shithead?
Hey, Bernard, don't be a shithead.
They shithead. Good luck being a likable character in the sequel.
But yeah, I mean, um, me it, like it it is the that it's this like large house where you're controlling three characters. There's another three like characters moving around plus two tentacles
Mm-hmm.
who also move around. So
Yes.
there's really five.
In a real schlorpy kind of way.
Yeah.
They're
um
schlorping.
it's just a really strange and fascinating game, and it makes so much sense why they never made another game like this and why we don't see other ones
Yeah.
like this at all. But at the same time, it's just kind of like it's kind of a cool like that's kind of a cool little design there. Like,
There are a lot of people that would call this the best LucasArts game of all time. Now, I don't want to relitigate our tournament bracket, but there's an argument to be made.
did Maniac Mansion make it past the first? Who was Maniac Mansion?
Okay, great question. Great
paired with?
question. Great question. Let's see here. Let me pull up my tournament bracket. You vamp for a bit.
All right. Richard Cobbett wrote a piece about the Maniac Mansion TV show. Let's see here. Doesn't seem like I'm just skimming this. It doesn't really seem like he particularly liked it.
Okay, man, I don't know
the quote. Well, pretty lousy. It's worth remembering that some of the problems here are of a product of its time, especially when it comes to the pacing. Even accounting for those, though, this isn't very funny.
Okay, man, I've looked this up, and I don't have the results of this round, but I suspect I know them. It was paired against Curse of Monkey Island in round 1 of our
So it made
tournament.
it beat Curse?
No, it didn't beat Curse. I'm sorry to say. I'm just going to go on record saying I have a feeling we picked Curse.
Yeah, no, that's.
But no, I mean, this is a fantastic game. It is fascinating how ambitious it is. Like the idea that it's not LucasArts' first adventure game, but in a lot of ways, it's the one that sets the template for what all the future ones would be. And it is wildly ambitious. Wildly ambitious. You get the feeling that, like, as a young designer, Ron Gilbert and Gary Winnick probably didn't know how much more they were biting off than they could chew. And that overconfidence kind of fuels a remarkable game in the long run. If they knew anything more about game design, they would have never tried to design this game, I suspect.
Yeah. Jess, I think you need to play Labyrinth.
I need to play Labyrinth.
I think you should play it on your stream. I'm putting you up to it because
I've never seen Labyrinth.
The film?
The film.
All right. Well, then you should watch the movie Labyrinth.
Uh-huh.
And then play the game. And then give us an honest. Okay. So I love Labyrinth, the film, but it's a real, like, kind of a B-.
Yeah.
But it is a movie that, like, loomed. It was discovering that I don't think Labyrinth is that great. And this isn't me saying it's bad, so don't email about that.
Wow. Yeah, but if you do want to give Ben feedback on his movie opinions, that's questquestpodcast@gmail.com. Please continue.
But like, it made such an impression on me when I was a little kid. It terrified me as a kid. But then, like,
David Bowie's kind of scary. Yeah.
Yeah. It terrified and fascinated me as a small child. Like, it really imprinted on me. I was always thinking about it. And then I remember, like, my first experience of this happening in my life, where I rewatched it and like, with a friend. I borrowed someone's DVD of it, and I was like, "Oh, this is Labyrinth. Oh, it's really great. Like, it's like Jim Henson. Like, it's this dark fantasy. It's like it's weird. It's you got to check this out." Like, to somebody who'd never seen it.
Mm-hmm.
And we sat and we watched it, and my friend goes, "Huh, all right, well," and I'm like saying that, and I'm like, "Yeah."
That was my reaction the first time I got around to watching Willow. It's like, huh.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Huh.
You want to know my real, like, I think it's something that, like, if you didn't see it as a small child, you're really missing out.
Okay.
Which is also, I had the shoe on the other foot, and this is this is a hot take.
Uh-oh. I think I know what it's going to be. Please continue.
Really? What do you think it is?
Okay, here's my just random guess out of nowhere. I think you were going to say you found Goonies to be.
See, now Goonies isn't it, but that's a great guess.
Okay.
You're absolutely in the right zone.
I was just getting big Goonies vibes, so please continue.
I knew, like, my guess of your guess was that it would be Goonies, because I think everybody has that story of, it's like, oh yeah, this movie, like the Truffle Shuffle, like it made me laugh as a kid. Then I
Yeah.
showed it to my girlfriend and she thought it was bad. I've
Okay.
never seen Goonies, and I assume that I won't like it. But no, my hot take one is Princess Bride. Did not see that until I was an adult, and I was just like, huh, all right. Like, I'll go out and say, like, Princess Bride is probably better than Goonies. Like, it's probably a better film than that. But like, I just watched it and I was like, man, if I saw this when I was like 9, I'd love this movie.
Mhm.
I'm watching this as a full adult that can buy an adult beverage. And I like, the magic isn't quite there for me.
Mhm. Can we have a sidebar, Ben, for a moment?
Is that your favorite movie?
No, I don't really. I mean, it's fine. I don't have a problem with Princess Bride. I think that our listeners aren't going to appreciate this. So I think what I'm going to do is when we come back, I'm going to just go ahead and say how much I love Princess Bride, because I feel like I have to do some damage control for you.
Wait, hold on. We're still Soda Voce right now.
Okay.
Do you love it or don't you? Or are you just going to put on that you love it?
I think I'm just going to put on that I love it. I think it is kind of mid too.
Okay, great. All right.
Okay.
All right,
I
we're out.
mean, Ben, Princess Bride is a classic. I mean, Wallace Shawn, Andre the Giant,
It's
Fred Savage.
like Indubitably or whatever.
Yeah, like Poison in Both the Cups, Storm in the Castle.
Land War in Asia.
Yeah.
Pretty
Come
good.
on. It's a great movie, Ben. Why don't you like Joy?
Yeah.
I don't know. Personally, I love it, listeners.
But anyway, but that was like my first. Hey, do you have a story like that where like you showed someone something that you loved as a kid, and you were watching, like, they were watching it for the first time, and you were watching it for the first time as an adult, and you realized, like, it's like, oh,
I think I may have told this story on stream before, but like about a year ago, maybe 2 years now, we during the summer with our neighbors would do outdoor movie nights where
oh
we would
yes, yes. I think I've heard
project
this.
films on the sides of
Right.
our houses, and just like
A real
we'd take
COVID era thing to do.
yeah, we
for
kind of
sure.
kept it going for a little while. We'd take our daughters out, and we'd all put out picnic blankets and just enjoy a film on a nice summer night. And yeah, we decided we would try Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Yes. I think
And
I think you might have even
yeah,
told this story when we
probably
talked
like
about
recently, and yeah,
Conquest of the
and
Longbow a couple weeks
yeah,
ago.
it made it like 10 minutes where it's like, I can't watch this film with a 12-year-old. This isn't going to fly, which is ironic because probably 12 is the perfect age to appreciate that movie. But I don't want to be in the room while she's appreciating it. So yeah, but no, I mean, I had
That's
one
kind of
that's
a
like,
different thing. Like, I'm not
yeah,
talking about like, oh, this
yeah,
aged poorly.
no.
This is like,
Here, I'll give you one that I was on the receiving end, where I was the
yeah,
person who was introduced to this, with people who are like looking at me the whole time, like,
yeah. Uh-huh.
Hocus Pocus.
All right. Well, okay.
Now this is generational, Ben.
No. I'm gonna say I'm with you. Like,
Okay,
I saw
it's
Hocus.
fun. It's
I
fun.
saw Hocus Pocus in theaters in what, 1993?
Yeah,
I
and
was
this is Halloween content right now, by the way.
yeah. Like Hocus Pocus. So yeah, like what year did that come out? Am I right? 93?
93-ish sounds right. Let's see.
Because
Hocus 93. You're
yeah,
correct.
you want to know why I remember that? Because I
You
remember
are correct,
the
sir.
theater next to uh and I want to note here, this is like Hocus Pocus came out July 16th. So it didn't come out in
Really?
October.
Weird.
So you know how I remember
Were
that
they
it
trying to
came
get in
out
for
in
Oscar season or
1993
something? How?
is because the theater over was Jurassic Park
Oh,
when I
man.
saw it, which came out a month earlier, but obviously that was still in theaters.
So were you seeing Hocus Pocus with Jurassic Park next door?
I was seeing Hocus Pocus with Jurassic Park next
So
door.
you were hearing
and
booming
yes,
dinosaur stomps the
that's
whole movie.
exactly what I was going to say. So I was watching Hocus Pocus and I would hear like boom, "Ah!" like I would hear like the loud thuds and stuff like while
Yeah.
I'm watching this, not particularly good like witch movie. And yeah, I how like yeah, I don't get it.
It's
Like, I mean,
fine.
I get it. It's one of those things. Like, but Hocus Pocus seems to be more like something that, as a like as a kid, like, once you grow up, you're like, yeah, but it wasn't that good. Like, Labyrinth is a movie where I looked back and was like, oh, this is probably still good. And I'll say, I still think it's like decent.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's great. I think it's decent. Um, like Hocus Pocus was a bomb when it came out.
Yeah.
It was a
Yeah. Yeah.
flop.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, maybe Labyrinth was too. I don't know.
I think it
But
famously might have been.
let's see here. Labyrinth, 1986 film. Uh,
Did it strike box
made
office
over its
gold?
budget. It made
Well,
over its budget. Um,
and a lot of that budget was hairspray.
it was, yeah, it was. I mean, but I mean, I don't know. I can't say no to really cool puppets and costumes and creature effects.
Which is better,
And
Dark
David Bowie.
Crystal or
Oh, Labyrinth.
Labyrinth? Okay.
Easy.
How about Neverending Story if we throw it in there?
Didn't see that. I've read it, but I
Okay.
haven't seen it.
Are you still reading it?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Um,
I couldn't resist that.
like Dark Crystal's kind of boring. Did you watch that Netflix series? How was that? Did you see that?
No, there was a Netflix series?
There was a Netflix Dark Crystal 1-season show
Really?
called like Age of Resistance.
I had no idea. I just watch Is It Cake?
Yeah, Dark Crystal, Age of Resistance, 1 season, 10 episodes.
Wow. Did you
Never
watch the
watched
Willow
it.
reboot?
The what?
The Willow reboot?
No.
It was
I've
terrible.
never even seen Willow, so it's not.
You aren't missing anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I would argue, hey, Ben, here's my hot take.
Yeah.
Tron's kind of mid, too.
I don't think that's a hot take at all.
That's a hot take. People are
Yeah,
trying to
okay.
rehabilitate
All
Tron. I only like Tron once Jared Leto was involved. That's when I got on
no,
board.
I
I'm
know.
like, finally.
It's very funny. I saw this. There was a story I saw circulating, and we're obviously done with Maniac Mansion.
I mean, it's a great game. Everybody go play Maniac
it's a
Mansion.
classic. It's very good. It's very funny. Like, so this new and I say this as someone that has absolutely no fondness or interest in Tron. Like, I the only time I've ever seen Tron was when I was a child and I had the flu, and so I was in and out, and like, so I only, and I think honestly this is probably the best way to watch the original Tron. Like, is like feverishly. But anyway, I don't have any interest or attachment to Tron. But like, there's this article, so it's like Tron Ares, which just came out. If you're listening to this much later, big flop.
Well, by then it may have turned it around though. Word of mouth could have reversed that.
But Tron Ares, massive flop, and it's like, all right, well, is this the end of the Tron as a franchise? And I'm like, probably not, considering the thing is that Tron, like, the space between Tron installments is measured in multiple decades.
Yeah.
Like, the first Tron comes out in 1983. Tron Legacy comes out in what, 2010?
Has that been that long?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I guess it has. Yeah, that makes sense.
And then like Tron Ares comes out 15 years later.
Yeah.
And
Here's the thing.
then like, it's like, yeah, we'll probably see another Tron like in like, 2050. Like,
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, Tron will always come back every few decades because then, now, forever, it looks fucking cool. And it's always going to look cool.
Yeah, it looks
I mean, that's
cool.
the thing. And plus, there's a Disney ride at Disney World, Tron themed, and, they've got to keep that IP alive. So, the same way they just pump out more and more Hocus Pocus merch every year to keep people, just that growing cult of Hocus Pocus just on the rise. Got to do that with Tron too. Got to make Tron IP.
Tron Pinball Machine's really good. Tron Legacy.
Yeah. Have you ever been sucked into it?
Yes, I was Troned into the Tron Pinball Machine.
How was that? Were you like running from a giant silver ball and stuff?
It's exactly like
you
the
have
Are You
an-
Afraid of the Dark episode.
Did
where
you
they
have
get
the
trapped in
disc?
a
Were you
pinball
like throwing
machine.
the disc around and stuff?
Yeah.
Did you light cycle?
Light cycled.
What was that like? Like,
Quora.
I mean, I'm curious. Like, when you light cycle in Tron, is there like a breeze on your face from the velocity, or is
No.
there no like air in?
No.
So like
No
you just,
air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no, it's like a frictionless experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't really feel anything. You feel quite deadened.
But I mean, if
That's
you
when
die
they
in
cast
Tron,
Jared Leto.
because he is dead inside.
Yeah, like he's just a guy, not very like. Well, I mean, God bless that guy's agent. Like for some reason, this guy. It's not like not only has he been the star of like multiple flops, but then also like everyone that's ever worked with him is like, this guy sucks.
Yeah.
And so it's like, it's not even that it's like, oh, but you know, he's really nice on the set. So like, we just want to give him another shot. Like, it's like, this guy sucks and no one likes him. Let's keep putting him in front of like extremely like big franchise movies.
Nothing has ever like been a more ringing endorsement of what an amazing show My So-Called Life was than his continued career.
Leto. I said Leto like he was like the Duke.
But I mean, it's remarkable that he is still working. But you know what? I bet that Tron movie's great.
Are you gonna see
I'm
it?
gonna go say it. It's gonna be my hocus pocus.
Are you gonna see it?
Oh no.
You just want
No. I decided I'm not seeing any more Jared Leto movies after I got the pre-release Morbius tattoo. And then that film turned out to be a real stinker. So I'm not falling for that trick again.
All right. Well, folks, this has been our podcast about Maniac Mansion. If you enjoyed it, if you have questions, if you have a story about revisiting with like a friend and disappointing them, like a movie that you loved in your childhood that doesn't play the same as when you're an adult, shoot us an email at questquestpodcast@gmail.com. We'd love to hear.
I feel like we had a lot of hot takes this episode. Like, I feel like there's a lot to respond to, like candy opinions, movie opinions, that part where you were like just really just like trashing Princess Bride so hardcore. Like, if people have forgotten about that now toward the end of the podcast, I just want to remind them that Ben was very much anti Princess Bride and said Carrie Yules is not handsome, which I thought was really weird. Because like that's like his big thing.
Yeah, I said all of those things.
Yeah.
I'm just I've got Jared Leto's Wikipedia page open now, and his personal life tab is harrowing.
Is it one of those that should be higher up in the entry? Like, should be down at the bottom?
Yeah, this is one of those, like, it's like, let's not bury the lead here. This guy seems like a real something.
Let's see. What's he got? Okay, now I'm scrolling in. Oh man, I forgot some of this stuff.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. See, seems like a real jerk.
Yeah. Anyway, good reviews, give them. And join us next week when we begin. We change the podcast from adventure games into a Maniac Mansion watch along every week, 66 weeks. Then we'll get back to adventure games. We'll see you then.
Family genius.